Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got a surprise post from the devs. The 6-year anniversary development team letter of appreciation. Completely out of the blue, was not expecting it. But I gotta say, I woke up this morning and I read this letter, and I did feel very appreciated as someone who plays this game. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it. It's similar to a dev note. There's actually content that's going to be available in the upcoming 6-year anniversary April update. So there is actual substantial content here, but there's also just a lot of nice language. And words don't necessarily mean anything if you don't back them up, but I have to say, I think the devs have really backed it up. I think this entire year, the updates, so for the last 4 months or 3 months and change, the updates have been outstanding. There's been a really amazing effort by them to rework characters that we want. They really seem to understand now exactly what the players want. Of course, they make some decisions that we might not agree with, and of course they want to make money, so they drive sales of certain items, or they release certain characters faster because it's going to generate them more revenue. But they have to generate revenue because it's a business at the end of the day. But I feel like, the reworks to the Defenders, the reworks to all those mutants, the reworks to Loki and Thor and the Asgardians, and just the way that they have improved this game, even though it's already 6 years old, this game feels fresher than ever. And that is not something that many games can say in their 3rd year or in their 4th year, that they keep getting fresher and fresher. So yeah, I think MFF is aging like a fine wine right now. So let's dive into this now. Enough gushing here. It's hard to believe we've already reached our 6th year anniversary of Marvel Future Fight. Like I said, a lot of mobile games honestly don't even make it to 6 years. We would like to sincerely thank all of our agents for continuing their missions through the numerous twists and turns over the past 6 years. Oh boy, have we had twists and turns. But yes, the sincere thanks is appreciated. We know that our agents have high expectations of this update, which will celebrate our big anniversary. That is true. See, I really think they're on our pulse right now. They know we have high expectations. We are preparing a reorganization to welcome this new beginning. I kind of like the way that sounds, especially the fact that we know other games are on the horizon. Diablo Immortal, Marvel Future Revolution, right? This game is gonna have to compete, and it seems like they're not gonna turn belly up and just quit. It seems like MFF is really gonna try to compete with these other games, and you know what? They have a 6-year head start, which is not necessarily, it's not a bad thing. So we're preparing a reorganization to welcome this new beginning so that we not only meet but exceed our agents' expectations. I would love to have my expectations exceeded. Hell yeah. We will also continue to show our agents how we seek to continually improve the game we all love. Again, it's really nice language. In 6 years covering this game, I've never seen a post like this. I gotta say, it's really nice. Before we announce the update details, so before the patch notes, we would like to share some news with our agents. Please look forward to the upcoming 6-year anniversary festival with us. I love the word festival. UI improvement. So they're going to be improving drastically the UI of the game. The UI is the user experience, or the user interface. UX is user experience. UI is user interface. Okay, listen guys, I'm not a dev, okay? I just moonlight as a hobby, not making games. We're working on improving the UI so our agents can easily access all content and prepare for battles more conveniently. So please look forward to the changes. I gotta say, this UI is looking hella clean. Hella clean. Now, I don't have any problem with the UI now. I actually like the UI, but this UI is even nicer. It's even more clean. So yeah, and I think the new UI does 2 things really, really well. The first thing that it does really well is that it takes advantage of the left side. You can see the left side here doesn't have anything, right? It's this empty space above the new uniform text, and then there's just a big gap, and then there's just the little icons at the top there. So there's all this unused real estate on the left side, and then by contrast, on the right side, it feels crowded. So the first thing that I think this new UI is doing is it's balancing the left and the right side, which is really appealing to the eye, and it just allows you to understand everything on the screen. Because let's be honest, with everything crowded on the bottom and on the left side, on the bottom and on the right side, it's a bit overwhelming for players. So they're balancing it out to make it less overwhelming. But the second thing, and I think the more important thing, is they're focusing the main screen on the character. Like Cersei is front and center. I really like that. Also, it's been years since we got a background change. So if we're gonna get a new background, I'm totally down for that as well, So yeah, I really like the new UI change. It's simple. It doesn't necessarily mean much to some players. They don't really care about it. They just put their head down and flash through the menus and jump into the game modes. But for someone who plays this game for hours on end, I do appreciate them doing this, and I can't wait to see how much the UI has improved, because every single time they've improved the UI in this game, it's been for the better. They've never introduced a UI in Marvel Future Fight that's been bad. And if you go back, okay, if you can give me a second here, I'm going to look it up, Marvel Future Fight. And if you look from 2015, if you look at the UI, it was so dusty. It was so dusty before. It's crazy how dusty this game looked. This game 5 years ago looked like it was 10 years ago. It was rough, and they've improved it so dramatically that they definitely have earned my respect and my trust that they're gonna nail it again this time. So that's the first thing. Second thing here, new content dispatch mission added. So this is, I don't know how much I would call this content. We'll have to see. There's not really any information about the difficulty, whether it's a game mode that you play or just interact with, and we don't know about the rewards. So we don't really have much information, but I like what they're highlighting as a feature of this new content. So we prepared some new content for agents that wish to enjoy battles with the vast amount of heroes they've collected from the Marvel Universe. So rather than another game mode where you're using 1 or 2 or 3 characters, or in total, you're only using like 10 or 15 characters if we're talking ABX or World Boss, right? It's still a very, very small number of characters. This is for people who want to use their whole roster. This kind of seems like a PvE version, a single-player version of Conquest, which I really like, sort of like Shadowland, but different. We are planning a game mode where it is advantageous to have a variety of heroes. So I like the fact that they're also highlighting a variety, not just having a lot of characters, but having a variety of characters. So, you know, you have a good mixture of male, female, blast, combat speed, universal villain, hero, and maybe even of the factions, right? Defenders, Fantastic Four, etc. That can all contribute to the goal of our agents. So this is the screenshot that they provided right now. Again, there's no clear anything. Like, we don't know what the difficulty is. I assume because you just have the dispatch button that you're just going to, it's just going to be menus. You're not actually going to jump into a game mode and play it. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. But see these nodes here, either the way I read it, it's either that you've dispatched 1, 2, or 3 heroes on each node, and maybe that node will have a higher reward depending on how many heroes you put. Like, we don't really know, right? I'm just speculating, but it's got a 4 here. So for the 2 there and the 2 there, it's either you've dispatched 4 heroes or something else. And then down here, you have the dispatch level with your bonus supply, which is a percentage of how much you've, you know, dispatched, I guess. So the more characters you have, the more you can dispatch, the more your bonus supply percentage goes up. I don't know. We'll have to see. Obviously, it's up in the air, but it's a nice little thing that they're doing for us, and they're letting us know ahead of time that it's something that they're focusing on, because we've asked repeatedly for game modes where you can use your whole roster. And the dispatch that we have right now, which that might replace the existing dispatch that we have. The dispatch that we have right now, it's okay. It's honestly, it's okay. But if you no longer need the tokens, because really all you get is the tokens from this. If you no longer need the XP and you no longer need the tokens, then the warp device has basically no value, because I'm just trading gold for the dimension tokens. But if I don't need the dimension tokens, if I don't need anything from the dimension item shop, then it's useless. So hopefully they'll introduce something that can not only be taken advantage of by new players and mid-level players, but also by veteran players. And then last but not least, we have growth difficulty adjustment for some heroes. This is the best news for free-to-play players. We have reached a consensus that now is the time to give some support to agents, to players who have felt pressured by the steady addition of new heroes. You know, we get all these heroes introduced into the game. We get all these characters getting uniforms, getting tier 3s, getting advancements, but you can't keep up, right? And we talked about it yesterday with Professor X and Mephisto, and you know, even though they release 2 tier 3s an update or whatever, you can't realistically tier 3 both of those characters unless you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on the game. So they're going to adjust the growth difficulty of some characters in the upcoming April update. So right away, big PSA, flashing lights, stop upgrading all of your characters. I know that sounds crazy, but if you can, stop. If it's not going to hurt your progress, then stop upgrading characters for the next 4 days or 5 days until the update, because they're going to be reducing the cost to upgrade some heroes. Now, again, if it's going to impede your progress, then you should continue to upgrade those characters. Like if you're really close to getting a character at tier 3, and that's going to help you get an extra null clear every day or an extra Mephisto clear, I would say do that, because that's going to guarantee you at least 15 CCF for the next 4 days, which is at least 60 CCF. That's a lot. But if it's not something that crucial, then I would say wait, because in the past, when they've made changes like this to the growth difficulty, they've made sweeping changes. So for example, I can't show you with numbers because I have all the characters maxed out, but a few years ago, they released an update where they took all of the base characters in the game that were released when the game first came out, like Captain America, Hulk, etc., and they cut their cost in half. So instead of costing 630 bios to get to tier 2, or to get to 6 stars, they cost half, 310 bios. And then everything was half. All of the gear upgrades were 1 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of the scaling requirements. And even the bios, right? If you wanted to tier 2 them naturally, it was 75 bios instead of 150. It was 500 black antimatter instead of 1,000. And I believe it was 1.25 million gold instead of 2.5 million gold. And so a few years ago, again, I'm talking like 3-4 years ago, we actually gave the advice to new players, don't use your tier 2 tickets on these half-cost characters like Captain America, Iron Man, etc., because you can use them on the full-cost characters, and the half-cost characters are much cheaper to build up. So if we're going to see another shift like that, you could be saving a ton of resources by just waiting 5 days to rank up all these characters. I'm serious. So my personal advice to you would be just stop all upgrades. Don't upgrade gears. Don't rank up characters star rank ups. Like don't do rank ups 3-star to 4-star, whatever. Don't use rank up tickets. I wouldn't even upgrade uniforms necessarily, because we don't know how big these changes will be. It would be nice if they had told us, but it's not that long to wait. So I would just wait, because they're going to be reducing the cost. Again, it's some heroes. If I had to guess which heroes it would be older heroes. So if you want a more specific estimate, I don't think heroes from last year. I think any character released last year is not going to be reduced in the growth difficulty. But maybe characters from 2 years ago are going to have their costs reduced. Who knows? So that's really cool, and then that'll help players catch up big time. We will continue to try our best so that our agents can enjoy Marvel Future Fight with all the various heroes currently in and coming soon to the game. In addition, we are doing our best to keep track of the feedback from agents regarding the updates, and we will work to gradually fix inconveniences that agents face. Please look forward to Marvel Future Fight moving into the future. And then one more time, remix. We once again thank all our agents for reading this letter. They're thanking you for reading, man. Feels like my kindergarten teacher. And we strive to return with even more improvements. I gotta say, man, it feels good to be appreciated. It feels good for them to say thank you to us. You know, we spend our time, we spend our money playing this game, and it's a dope-ass game, but it's gone through some ups and downs, for sure. But to have them thank us for playing their game is honestly, it feels really good. So I really like the tone of the letter. I really like all the info. And to me, this is like a bonus dev note. So I think they should try to do more of these, or not necessarily more, but I think they should do these again, because I think these are really, really good for the community. And it just feels good. I don't know about you guys, but it just feels good to be appreciated. So hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the new UI, not the UX. Let me know what you think of this new dispatch mission and what it could mean. Is it going to be like an autoplay Shadowland type thing or something like that, or like a hands-off Shadowland type game mode? And then what you think of the growth difficulty adjustment, the discount cost to build up certain characters. Thanks so much for watching. So close to the next update, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.